For a few months at the beginning of this year, Piccolo was looking like he could be the problem character for this entire season of DBFZ, and most top players are debating whether he really was the best. During this time, Goichi was playing him and managed to win NorCal Regionals. And although GT Goku came along and stopped Piccolo's momentum within the community, he's still a very strong and very fun character that's definitely worth taking a look at. So what's the purpose of this guide? Well, I want to make learning Piccolo easier, and I want to make fighting him easier. It's really that simple. Let's get started by talking about his pros. He has excellent normals, especially in the air. He's great at slowing down neutral. He has a low 2L, which is really helpful for mix-up. Speaking of which, he has great mix-up. He has high damage, high meter gain. When his back is to the corner, he has excellent side switch routes. He has amazing Oki so long as you can make it into the corner. He has amazing snap mix-up. Speaking of which, he has the infamous Hellzone Grenade, and he has a really good level 3 knockdown. Next, what are his cons? Well, he's a tall boy, so he's fuzzyable by several characters in the cast. He has no traditional Ki Blast. He's very meter and assist dependent, especially for his combos and snap setups. His assist is Ki Blast property, so it can be very difficult to use on offense. Although he's so strong, he's one of the only high or top tier characters with true counter picks, bad matchups in neutral basically, and he has really bad 2H cancel options on block. Now that we're done talking about his pros and cons, let's talk about his neutral. And what really shines in neutral for him is his buttons. Jump Light is really low risk with a really solid reward. It beats Superdash cleanly on reaction, and it's a strong option after blocking Superdash in the corner. It even beats Kid Buu and GT Goku specials in this situation. His Jump M is also excellent in the air. It has a really good air to ground angle, or it's good anytime you're just swinging from the high ground in general. Confirm air hits with Jump 2H. On the ground, you just get a normal combo. His Jump H is also huge, but it launches them away. So confirm with Vanish on hit. In the corner, you can convert meterlessly though. His 5M is a pretty huge normal, and it can confirm into damage or pressure with 6S or 5H from any blocked range. His 6S is his only beam property tool. It has massive range, and it's pretty quick for what it is. I want to point out that it's his only true jail into Vanish, so if you're on offense and you want to restart your pressure, this is a solid way to do it. Next, I want to talk about Reality Stone. This is really good for slowing down neutral and stays out even if Piccolo blocks. It can be super dashed through though, so be ready to 2H or air to air. By holding the S button when you input Reality Stone, you can make it larger and move slower. Generally in neutral though, you want to be using the regular smaller one, because they're harder to destroy and they move quicker. Defending players can try to destroy it with their own Ki Blast or assists, but Piccolo can call these options out with his own Super Dash, 6S, or assists. A great option for Piccolo to get around these options is to dash jump over them for a potential punish. If Piccolo ends up blocking, the orb can still save the day. Be careful with Reality Stone though, it's a big commitment to throw out if you don't have coverage. It can lose to a preemptive Super Dash, or some characters can reaction punish it if they're in a position to, such as Kid Buu or GT Goku. Next, his elbows, quarter circle forward, L and M. These are great for navigating neutral, even when your air actions are all used up. Quarter circle forward L plus assist is really useful for escaping the corner, or sandwiching the opponent in neutral with an assist. And last, let's talk about his chop. It's a pretty high commit and risky option to use in neutral, but it can be useful when paired with an assist. The light version can combo into Vanish or assist, so the reward is there, and it can be a pretty useful, cheesy round start option. The opposing player can call it out by chasing after it whiffs, or by moving forward and reacting with 2H. Next, I want to talk about his offense, one of his best things, starting with his mix-up. His 5S is a command grab, which has really good reward in the corner. It has good damage, meter gain, and you can set up snap mix-up off of it. Since it's a command grab, it discourages the opponent from wanting to reflect, but it does carry some risks. It is reactable, and you carry the risk of getting jump Ki Blast or super dashed on reaction. His elbows, especially his quarter circle forward L, are really good on offense as well. They have solid reward when you have assists available, although how you convert depends on the assists, and with your assists you can keep your turn if it's blocked. You can also combo or keep your turn with Vanish, but keep in mind that if the elbow is reflected as a reaction, then the Vanish can be 2H'd for a full combo. Piccolo's quarter circle forward L is extra good when it's not used as a cancel option. Dash startup and 236L startup look very similar, so you can even condition someone to block the elbow after a plus situation, and then do dash stop, Phi them instead for high reward. Piccolo's command grab and elbow might seem gimmicky, but they're both quite effective if you've been conditioning the opponent by staggering, using frame traps, and Dragon Rush. It's difficult to defend against everything, so be sure to use a little bit of everything. Also, if you notice that the opponent techs Dragon Rush with their own Dragon Rush, then quarter circle forward L can be useful as a throw bait in this situation. One sort of universal option that Piccolo has access to is to use Superdash plus an assist in the corner. This sets up a high-low 50-50 mix-up with an air dash high or land and go low. Many characters don't have this option because their lows aren't fast enough and long enough, but Piccolo's 2L is long enough to make it work. Don't forget about Dragon Rush, 5S, and quarter circle forward L in this situation as well. Piccolo's IAD mix-up is pretty above average. Mid-screen, you can go left-right with cross-up, instant air dash, jump M, or use jump L if you'll barely sneak over them for the cross-up. He can go same side with a super dash or his jump S, which is also a command grab that hits standing opponents. The reward is lower than other characters for the same side mix-up, but it's still worth using. In the corner, he can do instant air dash, jump M and let both hits connect. He can do instant air dash, jump M and let a single hit connect, whiff a jump H and then go low. He can do instant air dash, whiff a jump L and then go straight into empty low, or go straight into Dragon Rush. Piccolo is a perfect example of a character that has so many different things that even though many or all of them are considered reactable, they're all very good just because you can't look for everything at once. Next, Piccolo has really good pressure. His tools lend themselves to this very, very well. He has solid frame traps with really good reward, especially in the corner. He has a lot of reflect-proof options. For example, if you frame trap with any move into success, then this will stay in even if they get reflected. This will even beat reflect into hard tag. You can just combo with 5H or Vanish. This is particularly useful as a meaty against late tech. It'll beat normals while also staying in if it's reflected. Or you can use 5S or Dragon Rush because obviously these will just snatch up the reflect. Before we get into the crazy stuff, let's talk about Piccolo's basic knockdowns. If you're in the corner, then you should be using medium chop for a sliding knockdown. However, if you're mid-screen, then this won't work. So, you can use his medium elbow, Vanish, and then get a Dragon Rush ender for a sliding knockdown and really good corner carry. You could also use EX Chop or Light Chop, but these are a little less good. EX Chop getting less corner carry, and Light Chop just being a worse knockdown overall. If you do manage to make it all the way to the corner and you do the Vanish combo, then the Dragon Rush will probably whiff. You can end with jump 2 and 4M instead, or you can delay the Vanish so that the Dragon Rush will still connect. Depending on the combo, especially if you Vanish, 2S might be the best ender that you can get. This actually sets up an instant air dash safe jump, or you could just take the time to set up an orb. Although it's not a perfect sliding knockdown, it's still quite useful. Paka, Tokyo's Piccolo player, actually does this a lot. Piccolo's Reality Stone Oki is super good. You're going to end in the corner with medium chop, and then set up the orb. This is going to cover up, down, and late tech options. It'll stay out as long as you need it to. It's Key Blast property, so many people will attempt a super dash or reflect to avoid dealing with the mix-up. If you default to instant air dashing afterwards, it allows for a consistent meaty while covering super dash for free. If they up tech, react with instant air dash LL. It's a true block string and combos if they try to super dash. If they down tech, then you can reaction meaty with jump M or whatever else you'd like. Instant air dash and empty low is strong here because it auto baits reflect and has a strong chance of crossing up. If you go for the instant air dash button and you get reflected, be ready to block or punish hard tag. The defender can time or reflect perfectly as they wake up to avoid dealing with the orb, but they will still be forced to block the instant air dash jump M or gamble reflecting a second time. The wake up reflect can be tough to get perfectly. If it's done after blocking Reality Stone, then it's treated as a whiffed reflect until they recover or successfully reflect a normal. The empty low will actually punish them for this, so make sure to use that sometimes. Some notes on Reality Stone Oki. If you don't properly reflect the orb on wake up, then it can pull you out of the corner and allow Piccolo to cross up with an instant air dash. You also can't reflect the orb and hard tag before you're forced to block the instant air dash jump M. It's kinda wild that it doesn't let you do that. It's time we talked about the infamous Hellzone Grenade, which sets up amazing mix-up whenever it's blocked. But that's the key, it needs to be blocked. Going for this right after a knockdown seems like it could be a waste of meter, since the opponent can choose to late tech and reflect to avoid the mix-up. And then they can gamble in the scramble afterwards with hard tag, mashing, or more reflecting. Because of this, it's important for Piccolo to use Hellzone when the opponent is forced to block. But you can't just do it any time you can make them block. You also need to make sure that guard cancel isn't an option to beat you. For these reasons, Hellzone Grenade is primarily used after snapping in a character, which takes away guard cancel as an option. You can auto-time the mix-up here by doing super jump forward and then air dashing high or going for empty low. Or you can manually time it with a dash forward and a neutral jump. Do whatever works best for you. If the opponent chooses to take the hit, then you can use your assists to continue the combo into another snap, or try to just KO their character. You can also set up Hellzone Grenade by using 5H and then an assist to lock them down. This is useful anytime after you've snapped in a character and they maybe block the first mix-up, or if the opponent has no meter to guard cancel. Hellzone Grenade is also useful for corner carry depending on which assists you have. So you could go for light chop mid-screen, call your assist, Hellzone Grenade, Superdash, and then go for an air Dragon Rush. This way you can snap in another character, or go for the sliding knockdown. Another really great thing about Hellzone Grenade is that it allows Piccolo to dump extra meter in a combo for great damage. You can end with medium chop, Hellzone Grenade, and then go for jump L, jump 2H, double jump, and Dragon Rush. This does over 900 damage compared to the 750 damage for level 1, and then still allows you to dump 3 more supers with your team. Next, I want to talk about snap mix-up in general. One of Piccolo's weaknesses is that this is something that's really good for him, but it always requires an assist or meter to snap. Always. He can go for high-low with an assist, which is a strong meterless mix-up. Hellzone Grenade lets him go for a 50-50 mix-up and still keep the assist so that he can either Hellzone again or go for other mix-ups. He can fuzzy tall characters by meeting with air dash LLM, land, and then going for rising jump M plus assist. This assist also sets up a second high-low opportunity if the opponent blocks the mix-up correctly. After snap, his 2S command grab is also a pretty solid option to occasionally use. Sometimes it'll even beat the opponent double jumping on incoming. But wait, there's more! Piccolo has a universal fuzzy mix-up that works on everyone except for the really small boys like GC Goku and maybe Krillin. So here's how you do it. You're gonna snap on the ground only, and then super jump M, which is gonna whiff. You'll fall with jump M, which will make contact, LL, and then double jump into jump M. And this jump M is the move that actually hits. In order for this to be a real mix-up, it requires that he vanishes into Dragon Rush. If he uses an assist to Dragon Rush, he will be all the way touching the corner. This gives the opponent space to forward dash under him and make the jump M whiff. However, when he does a vanish into Dragon Rush, he's spaced slightly out of the corner, so this no longer works. There are alternative ways to set up the fuzzy that don't have this problem, but they are all either manually timed or they're difficult to land consistently, which will allow the opponent to double jump out or escape on accident if you happen to mess up. On to Piccolo's supers. His level 1 is a pretty standard beam type super, which does 750 damage. Some team comps can allow him to charge it fully to get 1140 damage instead, for only a single bar, specifically pairing him with Super Saiyan Goku. Next, his level 3 is Hellzone Grenade, which has a pretty good knockdown actually. It looks pretty average, but because he has so many different mix-up options, it's considered quite strong. For example, he can instant air dash into high or empty low, he can go for 5S command grab, jump S command grab which hits standing opponents and maybe makes spark whiff, he can go for cross up, or he can go for Dragon Rush. Now let's talk about the assist. Reality Stone Assist is pretty solid and neutral, but unlike his regular Reality Stone, it will go away shortly after your point character blocks something. Hit stun is pretty solid on it, so converting if it hits isn't too difficult. Just be mindful when you use it in neutral since it's a Ki Blast property that you can choose to super dash through it, so be ready to react. Another thing many people do in response to the orb is to throw Ki Blast in an attempt to break it. This can be called out with a preemptive super dash or by dash jumping forward. In these videos, I want to make a point about team synergy. So what does Piccolo want? Well, Piccolo wants assists that help him with mid-screen and corner combos. Since the quality of his Oki gets significantly better in the corner, he wants to get there with as few resources spent as possible. Bonus points if the assist lets him snap easily without spending meter. And who wants Piccolo on their team? Well, his assist is solid and neutral, but it can be difficult to use on offense. Characters that can pressure while covering defensive reflect and super dash can use his assist the best in pressure. His corner level 3 Oki is above average, so many teams are happy to be able to DHC into his supers. In general, if you're playing Piccolo, he's probably going to be your point character, but it really helps if your other characters are able to make use of his assist in one way or another. Well, I think that about covers it. As always, I hope this guide could help you in some way, either helping you pick up the character or just learn more about him so you can fight against him better. I want to thank Apology Man for helping with the outline and script for this video. Be sure to follow him on Twitter if you aren't already. In the future, I'd like to continue to involve knowledgeable known players in order to be sure that all of the information in these videos is accurate and credible. Also, thanks everyone for being patient waiting for this guide. These videos take a crazy amount of time to complete up to my standards, and with classes and my job going on at the same time, I know the wait can be a bit long. More is on the way though, I promise. Thanks for watching.